Now I know that having title and a thumbnail like this might sound super dramatic, but I want you guys to watch this video until the very end, because not only that you're going to get an insights about summer in Malta, you're also going to get information and advices of what you should avoid so that you can have a better holiday here on the island. Now, before we continue with the video and start with the points, I would like to say that I am creating this video to help out tourists when they're coming to Malta to know exactly what they should do so that they can have a more comfortable lifestyle. Without any means, I'm not bashing down Malta, I am just portraying the reality. So please avoid with your comments, go back to your country. Don't do videos about this country, do videos about your country. Please refrain from this type of comments. I have created over 300 videos about the island, the life here, tourism here, and they've been quite beneficial for so many tourists to come over and visit the island. By no means I'm trying to bash down. I'm just trying to give out the reality so that people know what to expect when they visit our beautiful country. Putting this on the side, let's begin. Oh, I totally forgot to introduce myself. My name is Alex and I create videos about Malta, as I already mentioned. If this is something that you might be interested, click that subscribe button down below. Now let's begin. The very first thing, which is also very common about Malta, is the climate and the heat, especially during the summertime. Now, I don't want to go much into details about this because I'm pretty sure that many of you guys know how hot Malta is, but I want you to know that July, August and September are the hottest months here on the island. The heat is so unbearable for some people because we do have a very high humidity. Sometimes during the summer days, it's so humid that the sky, instead of being blue, it's actually grayish and whitish, haze, because of the high humidity. Guys, if you cannot stand humidity, or if you have already been in Sahara, or if you have already been in Dubai, especially in the month of August, the same climate you're going to expect here in Malta in July, August and September. This is the point number one, and the point number two is about the crowd and the tourism here in Malta. Now, many people, due to the work that they do, they can take holidays in July, August and September. And Malta is experiencing fully booked hotels during these 3 months. Hence, we do have a lot of Airbnbs here on the island. Guys, you know what? Before I continue with the video, I will be giving you out information about staying here on the island in accommodation, in a hotel and in Airbnb as well, because certain of these points that we are going to discuss about are connected with Airbnb, students in Malta and hotels in Malta. So I really want you to watch it until the very end so that you can get the right information, because there are certain points that I'll be talking about why you should avoid staying in Airbnb. Anyway, let's continue. Talking about the crowd here on the island, we do have a lot of tourists that are visiting Malta over the summertime. At the same time, there is a lot of business here on the island, especially in the iGaming and the financial sector. Hence, there is a lot of business people coming over to Malta over the summertime because of work. My phone nearly fell. We have also a lot of students on the island. Malta is very famous for English language schools. Hence, we have a lot of students coming from Italy, from Spain, from over the summertime, when the students are here, and especially those that are on the Erasmus program for like 2 or 3 months, they are living here on the island and their friends and families are visiting Malta as well. So not only that you have tourists, you have the students here on the island, their parents and friends visiting them. You also have the business people. It is overcrowded. Malta is so tiny that we as residents that are living over here, we are already over 500,000, let alone with all the tourists that are coming over. With the crowds in Malta, you're experiencing buses that are running late, buses that they're avoiding to stop on a bus stops because they're fully booked and you need to wait for additional 15-20 minutes for the next bus. Traffic on the roads, which is making the traffic even so congested. Buses are running late, so if you're going, let's say, I'll put it in this way. In summertime, if you're going from Sliema to Mdina, you're going to be stuck in a bus for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So if you would like to avoid this and cut half of that time, you need to use Uber or Bolt or any taxi. Now, I don't want to go much into these details because I'm pretty sure that every country has its own traffic problems, so you know the deal. Another thing that people do not tell you about Malta is that the prices are changing from winter prices to summer prices, both for the buses, for the public transport, even the prices when it comes to taxis. Guys, when there is a higher demand to go from one place to another, if you try to order yourself a taxi, let's say during the morning when it's not so busy, it might be 7 euros taxi ride. But if you do that in the afternoon when there is a higher demand, this can go even double. It can be 13, 14, 15. And especially in the time when we do have a lot of festivals here on the island, guys, the prices are obnoxious. So my advice over here would be for you to pre-book a taxi service company on a specific day, especially if you are visiting any of the upcoming summer festivals in Malta. Something that I'm coming up with a very interesting point about summer in Malta and what people do not tell you is about the power cuts that we have. Last year, 2023, over the summertime, we had several power cuts, guys, that really disturbed the whole island. When I say power cuts, I mean nearly half of the island without electricity. Some of the localities here on the island were without electricity for over 12 hours. Imagine that heat. Oh my God, when I remember about these days, it's just unreal. Like imagine yourself, you cannot use Wi-Fi, you cannot use TV, you cannot use AC. The AC is the most important thing. Here I'm coming up with an information which is quite helpful and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well. The island has invested shitloads of money for new cables because they changed the cables and there was a lot of construction over the winter time when they dig the roads to change the cables, so that we are going to avoid power cuts this summer as well. I'm not so sure exactly the number, how much it was spent on the island, but I think that there were over 70 kilometers length of cables that they changed here in Malta. Yes, we did have a lot of problems with the infrastructure over the winter time, but this was for a good cause so that we can avoid having power cuts in Malta over the summertime. And the power cuts are, guys, because of the high humidity. Like literally, the cables were melting. And I don't want to go back in that time because it was really horrible. Luckily, we did get some benefits and we did get reductions on our electricity and water bills, which was a good thing from the government. Well done about that. But I hope that with this investment that we had with the cables, we are going to avoid any power cuts. However, if there are any power cuts here on the island, if you're staying in an Airbnb, you're doomed because there is no generators. And if there is no electricity in that Airbnb, that's it. You're not having an AC, you're not having internet, and the only thing that you have is just water that you can drink, nothing else. You can't even cook because here everything is with electricity and gas as well. Speaking about this, here is another advice about people who are planning to come over here on the island. Usually the power cuts are happening somewhere in August when it's the peak of the heat. If you're staying in a hotel, make sure that it's a 4 or a 5-star hotel because majority of this hotel, not majority, all of them, all the hotels, they have to have a generator, which means that if there is a power cut on the island, the generators will work and will supply electricity into the hotels. So in this way, you're going to have AC, you're going to have food, you're going to have, you know the deal, if there is electricity and if there is not electricity. The last 2 points that I have about this when it comes to visiting Malta over the summertime is about the noise that it's happening in the evenings. If you guys are staying in an Airbnb and you are staying in St. Julian's or in Sliema, these are the most touristic areas on the island. And also these are the areas where a lot of the students are accommodated. Talking about Sliema, accommodation for students is also provided in Gzira, which is just on a walking distance from Sliema. Many of these students, and I'm not putting a blame on them, but if you are here on the island and if you're visiting Malta, you will see when they're walking around a group of like 20 or 30 students and they have those big JBL, I don't know how they're called, the music systems, and they're walking around, they're blasting music. And this can happen even at 4 a.m. once they finish partying in Pacheville, which is the district of nightlife located in St. Julian's. Guys, please pay attention. If you're staying in an Airbnb, you might experience having students across on the other side, in the other building, in the balcony, having parties. And I'm seeing already complaints online on Facebook from actual residents who are living here, and they're already complaining about the students which are across on the other side, having parties until 11 in the evening, going out and then continuing with the parties at 5 a.m. In this way, I will suggest you to stay in Airbnbs that they don't have obstructed views, that there is no any other building opposite on the other side, or if you just want to splurge a little bit more money, stay in a hotel. Choose hotels that are, okay, you can choose a hotel that is in Sliema, depends on the hotel, like the main one on the promenade, and especially if you're on a higher floor, you're okay. But if you're staying in an Airbnbs, in an apartments or in hotels which are on the lowest floors, 99% you're going to experience the traffic noise, the noise from the students or anyone that is just walking around on the roads. Oh my God, I'm putting so much blame on the students. Please don't attack me in the comment section. Now, before I jump into the final thing, the final point of what people do not tell you about Malta is, in fact, no, might be a thing that people do not tell you about Malta, that I do have my very own guidebook, which you can exclusively find it on alexinmalta.com. On my guidebook, guys, this is a self-promo. As you can see on the table of content, you're going to find quite a lot of helpful information when it comes to where you should be staying in Malta, which areas, if you're in the south, in the central, in the north. Especially, I do have things when it comes to the food, the recommendations for restaurants, best sunsets on the island, hidden gems on the island, pretty much everything so that you can have a really nice holiday here on the island. Self-promo. Thank you. So if you do like to get information about this and to get my personal view about staying here in Malta as a tourist, make sure to download my guidebook exclusively found on my website alexinmalta.com. Enough about this self-promo because this video is sponsored by myself. Let's move on with the last point about what people don't tell you about Malta in summer. Cockroaches. I know that in many islands, like Cyprus for example as well, we do have an issue when it comes to the cockroaches in summertime. When the heat is here, they're coming out. And if you're staying in an Airbnb and if it's a low floor, you have 80% of chances to find one of those disgusting little things walking around in your kitchen or in your bathroom. Why am I putting so much blame on Airbnbs and on students as well in this video? Incredible. But guys, when it comes to the cockroaches, it was an issue, especially I moved to Malta in 2015 and I did experience in the first week cockroaches here on the island. But how things are progressing, oh my God, wait, I just remember. There is one more thing that I need to talk about. The final thing about Malta, and it's like the most important that you need to know. Hold on, let's continue. Okay, let's crop it off quickly about these cockroaches. Guys, there used to be an issue back in the days, but now it got a bit better. But still, considering that there is a lot of people on the island in the summer times and the garbage system means that you need to get your garbage at a certain date and a certain time outside in front of your house, so you might be experiencing a lot of walkings in promenades and you're seeing a lot of garbage on the roads. And this is mainly because some tourists, some students, they don't know that they need to put the garbage at a certain time on a certain day. Anyway, I don't want to continue about this, guys. Let me tell you the last point, which is extremely important, and this is about the pickpockets in Malta.
Attenzione, pickpocket!
Guys, Malta is an extremely safe country. The crime rate is really low, so don't worry. It's not like if you're going out at 4 a.m. you're gonna get robbed or anything like that. Those are like extremely rare cases. But there is something very important that I want you to be extremely careful. It's your bags and your pockets when you're waiting for a bus or even when you're inside the bus itself. I'm gonna mention again about 2015 and 2016. Yes, I've heard a lot about pickpockets here on the island, and they're mainly targeting senior citizens, senior tourists. So please, whoever is watching this and it's in their 70s plus, please be careful and keep your bags all locked and keep them with yourself. It's not like someone is going to snatch something out of you, like a necklace or a handbag or something like that. No, it doesn't work in that way. This is what I know from experience of people that I met even a few days ago. I will give it this as an example. So they were standing in Mdina on the bus stop after they visited Mdina and they were waiting for a bus to go back to Sliema. The gentleman entered inside the bus and he was about to pay, and when he pulled out his wallet from his pocket, it was gone. Straight away he went into the Mdinas police station, and while he was filing a report about this, he received a notification on his phone that someone is trying to withdraw 500 euros from an ATM. I think it was in Rabat. Guys, whoever this pickpocketer was, stupid. Because every ATM here on the island has an actual camera. That's why I believe that the pickpocketers that are here in Malta are quite stupid, sorry to say that, because the rate of pickpockets has been reducing over the years. If in 2015 and 16 I used to hear like 3-4 cases per week, nowadays in 2024 this is the first case I've heard, and we are already rolling at the end of the 5th month. But the summer haven't started yet. Let's see. Anyway, I don't want to stress you out, guys. As I said, it's not like someone is going to snatch anything out of you. You just need to be careful because they're trying to open your purses, open your backpack, so never in a million years, not even in the safest country, wear a backpack behind you and standing on a bus stop, on a crowded bus stop. Never. Just keep your backpack in front of you. Anyway, I think I have given out a lot of information. It is 10:45 when I'm finishing with this video filming. I'm editing and I'm posting it today. So what you see right now, it's been filmed an hour ago. And you might see my tan. Yes, I've been tanning for the past 2 weeks and I'm so happy. Finally, the weather in Malta is getting better and better and better, and I can't wait for the heat. I know I've been talking about the heat at the beginning of the video, but I love it. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like it down below. If you would like to get more information about Malta, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and until I see you in my next one, bye!